Hello. Hello. My name is Teacher Allie. Allie. And I am here to help you with Mock 1, Part 2. My country, my culture. Here we go. My country. Good. Country. China is my country. While you're talking about this, circle the map of China. And then you're going to read, "It is the land where I was born." And then what you needed to do is you need to explain to the student and define what country is. So you're going to tell them, country. Good. All of the words in red are vocabulary words. So they're important to that specific unit. So you could circle the word country. For my older students and for my students that are reading, I underline sentences. So underline these sentences with your mouse, with your writing cursor tool while you're in your mock. So you're going to define country, and it says, a country is a nation with people, language, culture, land, and government. Country. Good job. Move to the next slide. So you're going to say flag. A flag is a piece of cloth that can represent a country. Let your student repeat what you said. Take time on those vocabulary words. Underline the sentence that you're saying. Circle those vocabulary words. If the student has an issue with a certain vocabulary word, doesn't pronounce it right, say cloth instead of cloth. Correct them in a positive manner. Cloth. Cloth. Good job! Give them lots of praise after they get it correct. And you can always underline that word that they're struggling with so they can visualize it and see it. And then you need to say, "This is the flag of my country." Circle that flag on the slide. Then you talk about the American flag. I happen to have an American flag. I also happen to have this from 4th of July. So if you have an American flag, great. If you don't, it's okay. I would try to use, it's level 3, I'd try to use a prop or two. But it doesn't have to be a flag. It can be something else as we get further in the lesson. You're going to have the student read the sentences. You're going to tell them what a flag stands for. A flag represents a country. A flag represents is essentially what it represents, a country and its people. And have them read those sentences. Do the same thing as the prior sentence. Underline, circle the keywords, and have them make sure that they say flag 3 times on that slide. That's really, repetition is how these kids learn. What do these represent? I grabbed a Nike tennis shoe. If you have a McDonald's cup, I mean, everybody goes to McDonald's, right? You can have them do these, and you also don't have to do, like, on this slide every single one of them. So one of the first ones I would do is something that's easy, which is the Chinese characters represent the Chinese language. So you're going to ask the student, What do these represent? And see if they answer. And you can say, and you can circle the Chinese when you're asking them, what do these represent? So as I go through things on a slide, I circle. Circle as I'm teaching it, use lots of visual aids like that for them. And it pops up on their portion. They see exactly what you're doing, writing, etc. So circle those symbols and say, the Chinese characters represent Chinese language. Get them to say that sentence. So you could say, McDonald's represents hamburgers or chicken nuggets, whatever. Or, Nike represents shoes. You're going to go, China is a country with many people. So you have them read the sentences. This was a part of my mock, the second part of this mock 1, part 2. I overthought it. Like the more I teach, I still teach lower level students. I teach pre-VIP, which is level 1, and level 2 students. Some of my level 2 students are really great and can amazingly read for their age and converse with me. So it just depends on the student. But I really overthought this level 3. So try not to overthink it too much, because you definitely can. And try and keep in mind that a level 3 student's going to do a lot more conversing with you, and they should be talking a whole lot, 70%, about 50 to 70% of the talking they should be doing, and you should be asking the questions. So, and on the slides that I teach on level 2, on these sentences, have these students read these sentences. So read, you can say, Jimmy, or whoever student is, Jimmy, read and underline these sentences and wait for your student to read it. If they make a mistake, gently, nicely, with a smile, correct them and keep going. And like on these slides, it has the picture of the street maps of like an aerial of Beijing, and then it has the people. And so I would circle the people when you need to tell them the definition of a capital, the main city of a country with the most amount of, most government offices. Because there's lots of people. You could say lots of people. Those are things that they don't necessarily have to repeat. You're giving them information. Teaching them knowledge. In China, there are famous landmarks. Yellow Mountains, Great Wall, Tiananmen Square, Terracotta Warriors, the Forbidden City. So you're going to have them read the sentences. So underline, in China, there are many famous landmarks. Have your student read that. So, Timmy, read. Underline. Let's wait for them. And a landmark is a place or building that is famous and important for a country. Some landmarks are made by people. Some are natural. Then you need to say, you can circle Yellow Mountains. Some landmarks are not made by people. Some can be natural. The Yellow Mountains. Circle the Yellow Mountains. And then you can say some are built by people. The Terracotta Warriors are built by people. Or the Great Wall or Tiananmen Square was built by people. So, then what you're going to do is you're going to get to and I overthought this slide too, the made by people and natural. And so you're going to want them to match. And so what I would do is I would say famous landmarks of China. Sort made by people. I would start with one category. So I would be like, Timmy, sort made by people. What landmarks are made by people? And then if Timmy doesn't understand, or Jimmy, or whoever it is, circle like the bird's nest and draw a line for it to go to made by people. and then do the same, and then with natural. And if it looks like it's running out of time, you're running out of your 10 minutes or whatever, don't do all of them. Do 3 of the 5, but do 1 from each category. Um, the sound of soft C slide. My kids, like in class, at this age, are phenomenal with blends. Blend, blend, blend city. So this slide, like in a regular class setting, is uber easy to teach. In a mock setting, not so much. I guess because it's a mock. But what I would suggest is on your whiteboard, explain soft C and how soft C can be followed by E, and how soft C can be followed by I, and soft C can be followed by Y. And you don't like explain that, but you say C is followed by E, and then I wrote CE, and then on either side of that, NT, scent, ice, face, once, and had them read it. And if you're short on time, have them read scent, city, and cycle. That way that you've hit all of your slides. And then you're going to want to say goodbye to them the same way as you did earlier. Say, I can't wait to see you. Point with 2 fingers again soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I always try to point with 2 fingers. At first, I would point like this. And I've done some reading. Some cultures think it's rude to point like this. So I try to point with 2 fingers so it's not seems offensive. But I hope this helps. Bye.